Why must businesses look after the environment and society? For two main reasons. The first is that unless business gets deeply involved in solving the environmental and social pressures that we are facing, the planetary issues, the regional issues, and even the local issues, then we are all going to suffer, including the businesses themselves. As Bjorn Stigson, the president of the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, likes to say, business cannot succeed in a society that fails. And many societies are failing right now, and the planet as a whole is in grave peril. The second reason for taking account of the environment and society is that it's good for your business. Hopefully, you've already seen why in your own businesses, but even if you haven't, your customers are expecting it, regulators, employees, environmentalists, and the communities in which you work are expecting it. Increasingly, investors are expecting it. 1 out of every $8 in the United States is now invested in whole or in part on the basis of social or environmental performance.
So we have several cases of this, even in Taiwan. So in the actual sense, when you invest in green, you may not make profit in the initial run, but on the long run, you can actually make profit. It doesn't have to include hardware installation. You can actually have software installation where you have changes in the production system or systems innovation. But at the end of it, you discover that you can actually maximize shareholders' wealth and at the same time enhance the environment. One more statement I'm going to make. It will also have to involve public-private partnership. It will involve a mix of economic instruments, policy instruments. We will have to move beyond the traditional command and control approach to a mix of market-based instruments to actually provide incentives for this industry to actually invest in green and at the same time be able to reap the profitability out of it.
From a policy point of view, let me just shift gears for a moment. The key to progress on so many of these challenges is innovation. And the key to innovation is engaging the private sector broadly, big companies and small, giant multinationals to the back of the garage entrepreneur, inventor. It's critical that the creative spirit across a society be brought into the challenge of addressing environmental issues. And that requires not that the government go away, quite to the contrary, but that the government be all the more clever in structuring incentives to engage those range of businesses. Now, the structure of incentives itself has to be diverse, and it has to be a basket of ideas, centered first and foremost on solid regulations, not just that are on the regulation books, but are actually enforced. That's fundamental to any society's ability to succeed on the environmental agenda. Second of all, it requires a commitment to taxes that steer companies in the right direction. And we are going to see a growing number of societies invest in carbon charges, for example, to put that incentive in place. A parallel is an appropriate set of subsidies to encourage the right behavior where taxes can't be used. Finally, there's a range of other aspects of good policy involving education, information disclosure, and a whole set of additional policy tools that are that basket of incentives that are so critical. So there's lots to be done on many fronts, but I think, again, not only in the corporate setting, but in the governmental setting, the proof is coming in that the countries that are paying attention to sustainability are also winning at competitiveness.
I think on the taxation, I think we all worldwide share an allergy against taxes. And being Belgian, I think I have the right to say so. But I think for the moment we are living an unfair situation where, because the cost of the environment is not internalized in the cost of a product, people are sometimes paying a little bit more for a green product because from its source it's more expensive than many of the conventional products. And of course, they're also paying their taxes to have the general cost of the environment spread out over the public, over the population. So I think it's, for the moment, a little bit an unfair situation.
If you get to the customer, the mother of a family, and you try to make the link that their health and the health of your family is tied to a broader definition of green. In other words, chemical-free is also green. air pollutants in your home is also green. I think that it's a universal human desire and responsibility of society to take care of its citizens and provide a healthier life. And so I think, again, if we expand the definition of green to care for not just the health of our planet, but also the health of our families at the same time, I think that concept could do quite well here as you educate people and consumers in Saudi Arabia as well.